Hear me out. I fell in love with this franchise when I was just a wee little kid, each film having a certain theme, and Toy Story 4 hitting a hard theme for me that I related to in every sense of the way, especially where I'm at in my life. But with Toy Story 4 coming out this week on Blu-ray, I was very fortunate enough to get an early copy of this film, one that comes with fantastic deleted scenes. Toy Story talks about with the cast and the crew that they loved when they were kids, the relationship between Buzz and Woody, a discussion, Bo Peep and what they did with her, and of course audio commentary with that. But with this Toy Story 4 coming out this week on home release, I wanted to dive into why I love Toy Story 4 and why this is still my favorite film of the year, and in general, I think it is the second best or maybe even the best yet. Of course, if you agree or disagree, make sure to comment down below your thoughts. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button as well. It's always been there for me since I was younger. Each film for adults and kids, and each film teaching a lesson, and for me being there when I needed them the most. Toy Story 1 started the story of Woody and Buzz in an unlikely duo, which actually gravitated towards this film when my sister was born, and as a new person in the family was introduced, the same thing happened to Woody on Andy's birthday. The aspect that the relationship started with Buzz and Woody and started here, and continued through to Toy Story 2, where we see Woody wondering what his purpose in his life might be. Is it more than just being Andy's toy? And what all this has to mean. Toy Story 2 is still my favorite Toy Story film for now, and of course Toy Story 3 ended the story of Andy as he went off to college. At this point I was actually leading into high school thinking about going off to college soon. This is where we take off into Toy Story 4, which is the sequel I never knew I needed from my all-time favorite franchise. Toy Story 4 ends Woody's story, and spoilers ahead if you haven't seen the film, go buy it, go check it out. It's a heartfelt Toy Story film with the biggest laughs and an overall emotional ending. Toy Story 4 tells the story of Woody and his aftermath after Andy leaving them, the story of rediscovery, and while he has been having a lot of fun with Bonnie, sometimes kids move on to other toys, and as Forky comes into play, Woody might just be left behind after all. Just like life, sometimes we refuse to move on, and as Woody is trying to stick with this, I think in life we deal with this on and all the time. Whether this is in a relationship, a work life, and other situations, Toy Story 4 tells a mature story, one that's more for adults, but also one that kids will have fun with. He learns this as he is going about his adventure and rediscovery of what it means to be a toy when an old friend comes into his life, Bo Peep. His adventure spurs off with them and continues. People had issues with Buzz not being in the film too much. I felt Buzz also touched into this rediscovery theme of himself as he is dealing with his inner voice. Something that is not just fun to watch, also very hilarious, but a little bit deeper when looking into it. And just like Woody, Buzz is trying to figure out for himself what he should do. Even Bo Peep gets touched into this as well. This whole story touches on many different things. It's more mature characters now as they have grown up so much with the audience that also started with this film franchise. And as a new character Forky comes into play now, it's for him to discover what it means to be a toy and why he should belong there. Each toy goes through this theme of discovery throughout the story of Toy Story 4. This can bounce from our main players to even newcomers like Ducky, Bunny, and even Duke Kaboom, who also touch on this in such small ways. But we also can't forget to mention Gabby Gabby, who in all the realms is probably one of the best Pixar villains yet. I say this because of all the emotion. She wants the same feeling that Woody got to feel with Andy himself, which in a sense, when you get to Gabby Gabby's ending, was she truly the villain? Or did she just want more for the most sinister things that she was trying to do? So side note, I have to mention Giggles McDimples. Wish she had a little bit more of a part. Toy Story 4 is hilarious, heartfelt, and emotional journey of discovery that felt so personal to me. I am in the same place in my life as Woody is. What is my next purpose? Where do I go next? And who am I to be in the people in my life? This is my favorite franchise and will remain to be it. And thank you guys again as always for watching this video. For more Toy Story content, make sure to hit that playlist up above. And for all the other Toy Story videos I have done on this journey, until next time, you guys make sure to have a friend in me. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this Hear Me Out video. I love doing these segments when I can dive into and talk about a film, and I've been wanting to do about Toy Story 4 because that theme of rediscovery is one of the most important things about this film, and I know this film actually has a lot more to do than just being that, and for kids, they're not going to really get to that, but for me, every single time I walk into one of these films, they really hit a different sense, and I really love Toy Story 4. There's a lot more to it. It's coming out this Tuesday. Do pick it up, guys, and I know some of you guys were actually a little bit harsh on this movie. I saw someone commenting that it's like the worst film of the year. I absolutely have to think you're crazy, and I think you're crazy if you don't give this film another shot, and I think you kind of went into with pre-notions that saying, oh, Toy Story 3 was the best one, but for me, Toy Story 4 is my second favorite, and as more rewatches kick in, it might become my favorite. Animation is superb across the way. I love all the Pixar behind-the-scenes stuff, and it is truly still my favorite film of this year. Thank you guys again so much for watching this. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. Go check out Sandwich on Films as well on how to see films early, and thank you to Disney and Fingerpaint Films for this early copy. I also pre-ordered my Steelbook, and I'm planning on getting the Target Special Edition because I just love Toy Story so much, and even though I have these steelbooks, I have like multiple versions of this film. Thank you guys again, and of course, have a friend in me.